Hi, so today I'm going to make you Tteokbokki, which are chewy rice cakes in a sweet and spicy sauce. They are a Korean street food classic and one of my absolute favourite things to eat whenever I go to Korea. So the first thing that you'll need to do is make a stock. This part is optional, but it gives the whole thing a lot more flavour. So in here I've got about 500 ml of water, and then I've got a few sort of Korean basic stock ingredients. I've got dashima, or kelp, so this dried, quite woody seaweed. So that's just going to go into there. I've got a small handful of these dried anchovies, the really big ones, which are really good for stock. Oh, can you see them there? And then I've got, just because I had them in my freezer, donated from my aunt, some little dried prawns as well. So I'm just going to bring that all up to a boil and let that keep bubbling for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back. So my stock's had about 15 minutes now, and it already smells a lot like Korea in my house all of a sudden. So I'm going to turn that off and just strain it up. And then my stock is in here, which I'm going to pour straight into this frying pan. So it's made about 1 cup of stock there. So in here I've got gareddeok, which are cylindrical shaped rice cubes. They are chewy and they don't have a lot of flavour by themselves, but what's great about them is they soak up all the sauce that you put in with them. So I'm using frozen ones today, as that was all I could get hold of. But if you can get fresh or refrigerated ones, then that would be better. But in the instance of these frozen ones, I've just soaked them in some cold water just to defrost them. So I'm going to pop them straight into this frying pan, and then now I'm going to use these, which are omuk, or frozen fish cake, sometimes known as odeng as well. So I'm just going to kind of roughly chop them and add these in too. And these add another level of flavour too. So if you weren't using the stock that I've just shown you how to do, you could use like a light chicken stock, or you could just use water as well, and these would help give it extra flavour. So into there I'm going to add in some gochujang, about 1 tablespoon. And gochujang is a spicy red chilli paste made from some fermented soybeans. I'm using this, which is a regular general use Korean soy sauce. So about a tablespoon of that there. And then I would like a tablespoon and a half of sugar. I'm just using caster sugar today. Along with about half a tablespoon of corn syrup. And this gives the tteokbokki its signature sort of glossy look. So it always looks very shiny and makes it look particularly appetizing when you add in a little bit of corn syrup into there. So I've given that a good stir, and I'm going to just add this in. And you basically just want to boil it until you need to put it on as high heat as possible. Yeah, and then you just need to boil it so that all those flavours start mixing together. So at the moment you'll find that it all looks very liquidy, but the starch will start releasing from the duck, and so that will help thicken up the sauce and make it really, really tasty. So this will take sort of about 5-10 minutes, so just keep an eye on it, and if you need to add in a little bit more liquid, then just add in a little bit more water or a little bit more stock. Otherwise just let it bubble. Had about 5 minutes now, and you can see how the sauce has completely reduced down, so now it's getting really thick and glossy, coating up all that duck, the rice cakes. So I'm just going to chop some spring onions and add that in now. Whenever I think of Korea, it always makes me think of all the street food stalls, and this is what my go-to dish whenever I go. It's just really addictive. I think that sweet, spicy flavour just goes so well with the rice cakes. So good. And then just tossing the spring onions in, giving it a quick stir, because they don't need very long at all. And then that is your tteokbokki done. So this is something that's actually been requested quite a few times, but I actually didn't add it into K-food or eat Korean for some reason. I didn't even think about it at the time, which seems crazy now. especially because it's so easy. So hopefully you all have found this video useful and you'll be able to make it yourselves at home. So here you go. This is Tteokbokki, chewy Korean rice cakes. Sweet, spicy. The smell is just amazing. It smells just like all the street food markets in Korea. And that's it. There you have it. Spicy Korean rice cakes or Tteokbokki.